this is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman, and today I'm stuck in traffic, so I thought I would give you some more information. So one of the things that has been coming up the last probably few weeks or so with a lot of clients is that they are talking to me about like feeling a lot of negativity from other people, a lot of people overwhelmed with what's going on, a lot of people really like dealing with a lot of jealous energy, which is kind of really interesting because when I tell them that, they just kind of look at me and they're like, why would that person think, like, why would they be jealous? Like, I can't even think of a reason why they would be jealous of me, or why they would, you know, think that my life is easy or whatever it is. And that's kind of the funny part of this is it's not necessarily your perspective, it's their perspective. And sometimes people do really well like with the outward appearance of their life and kind of like, you know, everything goes well, or there's no problems, or there's no issues, and so they're kind of like, okay, but this doesn't make any sense. Like, why would they, you know what I'm saying, like, that person has like more education than I do, or their husband makes more money, or whatever it is, like. And I think that's like the misperception of it, is so many times people think, oh, they think they're jealous because it could be a number of things of why that person is jealous of them. And that's kind of like the quirky part of it. And so many times it's not what you think. Sometimes they're like, well, I just got a new BMW or whatever else. And I was like, that may not be it, because they've been jealous a heck of a lot longer than your brand new BMW. And so they're like, why would they be jealous? And I was like, it's that outward facade. Sometimes it's just people's energy, like they can deal with things, and they make life look really easy. And so people are like, you know, like, I think that, you know, their life seems easy and everything, you know, like everything goes well for them, or they don't have as many problems. I think it's funny because a lot of times they have just as many or even more problems, but they deal with it well, or they hide the facade of like nothing's going wrong, or everything's going the right direction, or whatever it is. And so they're kind of like, oh, you know, you're making it seem easy when it's really, really not easy. And like I said, it's kind of like a family facade of like, oh, this is really easy. Sometimes it's really not, and they just play well at it, or they kind of like, okay, we're gonna let this go for now and just focus on what's in front of us. Like, right now we're doing this family event, or right now we're doing this family dinner. And so they kind of push the bad to the side, and they're kind of like, let's go forward with the positive. Or sometimes that's just their energy of like, they're going positive. They're totally going positive with this energy. They are thinking about like, you know, yes, this is a problem, or so-and-so lost their job. And we're just going to keep going because we know that, you know, Creator's energy is going to provide for us. And so we're just going to keep moving forward, and we're not going to let this hold me back, or let this kind of come forward, you know, come in between us, or have issues or problems. And that's the quirky part. I mean, I literally had a client who, like, he lost his job. They moved to Houston. I'd done a couple of readings with them over the last, you know, year or two or something like that. And then he lost his job, and kind of sidewards, kind of dealing with COVID, you know what I'm saying, like issues at the same time with work. And so, but he lost his job, and her sister-in-law was just so freaking jealous that it was like crazy, and not necessarily cursing them, but kind of like putting a curse on them. It's more like they're just like so jealous that you seem to be doing well, and you're doing better than they think you should be doing, or whatever it is. And she was just like, oh my gosh, he lost his job like 2 months ago, and you know, we're making ends meet, but barely making ends meet, and that sort of thing. And I was like, but it's more the perception. It's what they think. It's not what's reality, and that's the secret. It's not what's reality, it's what their perception is. What is their perception of how you're dealing with life? If they think you should be, you know, on the side of a road with a sign in front of you, then that's their perception. Anything better than that, they're almost jealous of it. And it's like, interesting, very interesting in that part. And sometimes it's, people will have like this jealous energy of, you know, your job is easy, or your husband helps you, or, you know, you're not a stay-at-home mom or something like that. So they kind of fight with that energy a lot. And so it's kind of like a really interesting phenomenon with that, of like, you know, just because your husband helps you, you know, they're like, oh, you have an easier life. Really? Your husband should be helping you, raising his kids along with your kids. It should be like, there should be lots of help there. It's a team project. And so that's kind of one of those really fun things, is like why that person is jealous of you. So if you have felt someone being jealous of you, and you're kind of like, why? Let me know. I may do a live reading with you. That might be fun, just about the jealousy. That could be a little interesting, and kind of see what we get with that, and kind of like, why is this energy coming forward? I think that's the interesting part for most people, is kind of like, where is that energy coming from, and who's really affecting you with all of their negative, jealous energy. I thank you so much for joining me today, and I know that we'll be talking again soon.